Now, students, we're now going to do question 7E on page 155 of the workbook. Make sure that you have done all your work before you watch this video. Now, let's look at this over here. We have a 3-digit dividend, 798, divided by 1-digit divisor, which is 2. Now, before we proceed, we have to know the different places, the place values. In this case, I'm going to use a red pen. Okay, now over here we have the hundreds place, followed by the tens place, followed by the ones place. When it comes to division, we always start from the biggest place and then work our way down to the smallest place value. Now let's look at the digit 7, which is in the hundreds place. Now be careful what language I'm using here. I'm using terms like place values and digits. Okay, in this case, let's really focus on those terms instead of just calling them numbers, numbers, numbers. Now, the digit 7 is in the hundreds place. We need to divide that first. When we take 7 divided by 2, because 7 is an odd number, it cannot properly divide by 2 without giving a remainder. So we ask ourselves, what is the multiple of 2 that's closest to 7 but yet smaller? And the answer is 6, which is the third multiple of 2. So over here at the top, we put 3, and then this is, by the way, this is 300 times 2, so we minus 600. Okay, take note of the place values. This is 600. So we're left with 100, and now we can proceed to move down the tens, 9 tens. So far, this is the first step. Now, then we ask ourselves, which is the multiple of 2 that is closest to 19 but yet smaller? The answer is the ninth multiple, or the number 18. So over here we put 9 and then minus 18. And we're again left with 1. And now we move down the 8 ones to the last and final step. And again, this seems very familiar, 18. So we have 9 ones times 2. You get 18 ones, and you get 0. So this is the answer that we want to see. Now I want to stress the presentation for this. Please always remember to show the arrows when you bring down the next digit. You have to show the arrows. Okay? Now you don't have to always label the place values. It's okay. The H, T, and O is not necessary, but it's helpful. I really want you all to show the arrows. Sorry, the pause was a bit too long. Okay, now 855 divided by 5. Now I've chosen this question because it's an odd number. Again, there is a 3-digit dividend and a 1-digit divisor. And we're going to use the same method again. I am going to again label the places. H, T, O. Hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay? Now please take note that the fact that I'm doing this is to help all of you to understand how important it is to start from the biggest place right down to the smallest place. Now 8 divided by 5, which multiple of 5 is closest to 8 but yet just smaller than it? The answer is the first multiple, which is 5 itself. So 8, in this case, is 800 minus 500. So you have to really take note that right now we're using a lot of places here. So we're taking 100 multiplied by 5 to get 500. I repeat again, we're taking 100 times 5 and you get 500 over here. The fact that we wrote it all towards the left and beneath the hundreds place is deliberate so that it's clearer for all of you. Okay? Then we're left with 300, and then again we bring this down, draw the arrow, Now 35 is a multiple of 5. So we all know that 7 times 5 gives you 35. You have to be familiar with your multiplication table here. Okay? If not, you will not be able to do it. And then we get 0. Sorry. And you bring down the next 5. And 1 times 5 gives you 5 ones. And you get 0 over here. Okay? This question is different from the first one because it is an odd number, but again, the similarity is that you're having a 3-digit divided by a single digit. Let's move on. Now, over here, this question over here, let's take a look at this number. You will notice that, as we all learned before, only numbers that end with 0 or 5 can probably, not all the time, but probably divide by 5. Okay? Actually, it is true that all multiples of 5 end either with a 0 or 5. Okay, so in this case, because it ends with a 3, you won't be able to divide by 5. Okay, so there's definitely going to be a remainder. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, so 7 divided by 5. You have to multiply by 1, and you minus 5. You're left with 2. Okay, now bring down the other 5 in the tens place. And then you multiply 5 on top here in the tens place. And you deduct 5 tenths, no remainder. And now you bring down the 3. Then you ask yourself, am I able to divide 3 by 5? Well, the answer is, you haven't learned fractions yet, so the answer is no. Okay, you're looking for a whole number answer. In this case, you cannot. So therefore, this is very important. You put a 0 on top. And you end off here. In your final answer, I would like to stress a few things. I'm going to slow down on this, so just pay attention. This number 753 is called the dividend. 5 is called the divisor. 150 is called the quotient. And 3 is called the remainder. Now I know that some people like to do this. Some people like to write R3 here. When there was already a 3 over here, they still want to write a R3 over here. I do not recommend doing this. So I'm going to erase this. This is not what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to just end your working like this. Keep your quotient on top, keep your remainder below, and only in your final answer, you will write 150 R3. The R stands for remainder. Okay, let's move on. Final question. This is very similar to number patterns that we've learned before. Use the digits 7, 6, and 8 to form the greatest 3-digit number. Now, I may not have enough space here. I'll try my best. Okay, but remember, whenever we give you questions in 2 parts, it doesn't mean that it's very difficult. It means that we're helping you to be able to score partial marks. So be appreciative, and let's just try it now. Okay, so I'm going to highlight keywords, and I always emphasize highlight keywords. Now you must use the digits 7, 6, and 8. You got to use all these digits. Okay, you have to use all 3 digits. So you cannot have a number. You cannot have a number like 776 or 888. You can't. Okay, you have to use all 3 digits, and you must form the greatest number, and you must form a 3-digit number. You cannot have a number 76, 68, 86. No, you have to have a 3-digit number. So obviously we start with the biggest digit. Now, whenever I do this question, I always tell my students to do this. Okay, because it's a 3-digit number, draw 3 lines to show the places for each of the digits. Okay, this is the tens place. Sorry, this is the hundreds place. Sorry, let me erase this. Sorry, yeah. Okay, I repeat. This is the hundreds place. This is the tens place. This is the ones place. Always, always know your place values. You have to know. Okay, you have to know your place values. So you ask yourself, if you want the greatest three-digit number, you have to have the biggest digit in the biggest place. Let me repeat that again. If you want to form the greatest three-digit number, you have to have the greatest digit in the greatest place. That makes sense. So the greatest digit is 8, and the greatest place is hundreds. So you have to put 8 over here. And of course, the next one, you got to have the second greatest digit in the second greatest place, which is 7 is the second greatest digit, tens is the second greatest place. And after doing this, you're left with 6. So therefore, you get 786. Sorry, 876. Now, we have to divide this answer by 5. And again, anything that is a multiple of 5 will end, that means the ones place, okay, any number that is a multiple of 5, the digit in the ones place has to be 0 or 5. And in this case, the digit is just 6. So there will definitely be a remainder. And I think that's the beauty of this question, because I really want you all to have remainders. I'm going to use whatever space I have here. So you got to really draw this yourself using a ruler. I'm using a computer, so it's a bit challenging. Okay, so 876 divided by 5. Again, we have to do workings. Don't use mental sum. This is not mental sum. You have to really write down the workings. Okay, so 1 minus 5, because 5 is the closest multiple to 8. And then you get 3. And then you bring down the tens place. Sorry for my crooked arrow. Okay, the number 37. Ask yourself, what is the greatest multiple of 5 that's closest to 37 but smaller than 37? I repeat, what is the greater multiple? What's the greatest multiple of 5 that is closest to 37 but less than 37? And the answer is 7th multiple, which is the value 35. 7 times 5 gives you 35. Okay, you have to always write the minus sign, and then you're left with 2. And finally, bring this down. 6, 5 over here, minus 25. You're left with 1. And again, like I said, do not confuse yourself and put a remainder 1 here. Okay, just leave it as it is, knowing that this is the quotient, this is the remainder, and the final answer is, I'm going to write it down. We'll draw a line. The answer for B is 175 R1. Okay, you have to write the answer in full. If you just write 175, you're definitely going to lose a lot of marks.